So yes, of course, it's a bump in the road.
But we have seen so many crises. This automotive industry is all about crisis.
Well, it's clear that the decision to ban pure ICEs is a purely dogmatic decision. Right now, the middle classes will have a hard time to access to the pure EVs.
Are we seeing the end of an era with no more EVs from Stellantis? CEO Carlos Tavares just said something that nobody expected. While companies like Tesla and BYD are thriving, legacy automakers are struggling to make a profit on EVs. The dark reason behind this might shock you. And to make things worse, Stellantis' CEO has been saying some concerning stuff against EVs. He even claimed that the price of EVs might go up by 50% in the near future. But why? Are Chinese EV makers killing every company out there? Stellantis CEO claims it's impossible to make EVs profitably. But then how is Tesla or BYD pulling this off despite pricing their cars in the luxury segment? Cheap Chinese car manufacturers are winning the EV price war while all the legacy automakers are facing low sales. Is this game over for Stellantis? Will the rise of new EV giants cause Stellantis to close its doors? In just 10 action-packed minutes, we're going to uncover everything. We promise not to waste your time. So what exactly happened? While the entire automotive industry seems to be caught up in the electric vehicle whirlwind, Carlos Tavares, the CEO of Jeep's parent company Stellantis, seems to have a different tune to sing. His message? EVs with all their electric allure might not be the future we're all dreaming of. But this is why Jeep is delaying their EV deliveries on purpose. But more on that in a few minutes. According to Tavares, who spilled the beans at Stellantis' first annual Freedom of Mobility Forum, we might not even have the necessary raw materials on our beloved Earth to keep the EV party going. We know we need lithium, but even then, why do we not have as much as we need? The EV fairy tale might be about to end due to a villain called resource scarcity. But wait, there's more. With a staggering 1.3 billion gas guzzlers on our roads, the CEO of Stellantis said, replacing all these vehicles with EVs is not just about building more cars, it's about securing a colossal amount of lithium. And folks, we might be running low. Now, before the EV enthusiasts start typing up their counter-arguments, let's talk numbers. If we look at the EV trajectory, the math just isn't adding up. Stellantis has ambitious plans with a whopping investment of over $35.5 billion on plug-in models through 2025 and a first EV battery factory in collaboration with Samsung. But all these dreams hinge on one major assumption: a good supply of raw materials. Elon Musk of Tesla and Rivian's RJ Scaringe have both voiced their concerns about the impending scarcity of not just lithium, but other materials like nickel, graphite, and cobalt. While the world might technically have enough resources, accessing them is another ballgame, with its share of bureaucratic and logistical nightmares. In 2021, Stellantis' overall margin was nearly 11%, but then if they end up with a 50% hike in their production itself, how will they be able to make a profit?
What has been decided is to impose on the automotive industry electrification that brings 50% additional cost against conventional vehicles. So we have to digest 50% of additional cost. There is no way we can transfer 50% of additional cost to the final consumer.
According to recent reports, even if they increase the sticker price on each of their cars by 20%, they will still not be able to turn a profit this year. Will they start selling EVs at a loss like Volkswagen and GM did? Wait till we tell you about the massive mistake Jeep made that is causing it to lose customers. You won't believe what they did. Jeep puts the brakes on electric ambitions. Here's why. Jeep sales were down nearly a record 20% for the first quarter of 2023. Ram truck sales are down 17%, and we're also hearing news about massive recalls. Jeep Wrangler was recently recalled due to fire risks, and just before that, they recalled the Grand Cherokee in both 2022 and 2021. All in all, in an attempt to transition to EVs, they are messing up current production too. Even though the demand is strong, SUV sales are not, simply because of the heavy dealer price markups. And even amidst all this, Carlos has allowed dealers to charge massive markups of thousands of dollars on their cars. Basically, he wants to give Jeep the image of a luxury car maker. But what's wrong with the trusty old and solid image Jeep has? For example, back in 2015, a Jeep Wrangler would cost you somewhere around 35 to 38 grand. But now in 2023, that same car with a manual sits at a whopping $52,000. And mind you, though even they have models well above $100,000. I mean, what were they thinking? That said, Jeep still has their EV plans, but here's the catch. They are delaying it as much as they can. Jeep, an iconic off-road brand with a legacy stretching back to World War II, has not been napping in the electric revolution. With the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee now available as 4xe plug-in hybrids, the company has clearly indicated its commitment to electrification. As Christian Mounet, Jeep brand CEO, declared, Jeep aims to be the leading zero-emission SUV brand in the world. That's impressive, right? While Jeep has teased the market with prototypes like the Wrangler Magneto 3.0 concept, boasting a staggering 650 horsepower and 900 pound-feet of torque, the fully electric Wrangler's launch has been pushed back to a mind-boggling 2027. Jeep had even showcased what was possible with their electric Wrangler concept, so why wait until 2027? While the Wrangler EV is officially in the pipeline, other models like the Recon and the high-end Wagoneer S are set to see daylight in North America first. Even as the excitement around the electric Wrangler brewed, it seems Jeep has prioritized the Avenger, Recon, and Wagoneer EVs. Can EV batteries really carry the load of SUVs? First off, electric SUVs generally have a higher upfront cost than ICE SUVs. Even though you might save on fuel in the long run, the initial investment can be prohibitive for many potential buyers. Over time, the batteries in electric SUVs can degrade, leading to reduced range. Replacing these batteries can be expensive, and while ICE vehicles also have parts that wear out, they typically don't result in a direct and substantial decrease in usability as a battery might, all due to a relatively heavier payload. Stellantis' CEO Carlos Tavares once said that the shift to electric vehicles might make cars unaffordable for the average person, reflecting on the high development and production costs of EVs. While electric vehicles emit zero emissions at the tailpipe, their environmental benefit can be reduced depending on the source of the electricity used to charge them. In regions where coal-powered electricity is prevalent, the carbon footprint of an electric SUV could be comparable to an efficient ICE vehicle. Jeep is not the only company who has beef against EVs. Apparently, Honda's CEO also has been against EVs. He said, "I've been in the engine development business for more than 30 years, so personally, it's a little threatening. But I have to separate my own feelings from what is best for the business." Giants like Volkswagen and Ford have also been reluctant to this shift, but eventually have had to make their peace with it for the sake of being in business. Jeep's plan ahead. Even though things are not looking good currently, reports suggest that Jeep will not lose hope. They're going to tackle problems one at a time, starting with the ridiculous dealer markups. They will switch to a new retailer model so that their customers can take advantage of lower MSRPs. They plan to transfer the higher cost of electrification to suppliers. As per CEO Carlos Tavares, nearly 85% of the value of a car is from outside components. Last week, their CEO also said that an old plant could reopen, helping them with production in America. The last thing that this company now wants to do is increase prices. This is going to be mostly a cost reduction race over the next 5 years to protect affordability in terms of protecting the size of the markets so that we can keep the middle classes on board on new car sales, said Carlos. The entry-level Avenger crossover has already made its debut in Europe, and the rugged Recon EV is on track for a US release next year. Even the luxurious Wagoneer is scheduled for a full reveal later this year. It appears that while the Wrangler's electric version has been confirmed, its debut is strategically slotted after these models. Furthermore, CEO Munier has tantalizingly hinted that the electric Wrangler would surpass its current ICE counterpart in off-roading capabilities. Companies like Tesla and BYD have the early movers advantage. They have their production plants in China, which significantly reduces the price of their cars, while American and European companies are struggling to make ends meet. Despite all odds, legacy car makers are working to bring the production cost down. And hopefully over the years, people will begin to appreciate the true quality that some brands offer over the flimsy cars being sold in the name of innovation and the future. Do you think EVs are a bad idea? Or are you on the side of a future without ICE engines? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more such content. We just did a really cool video on an upcoming flying EV, so be sure to watch our channel for that.